Hello, my name is Kennie Streit, and today I will be talking about herbicides, sea life, and the link to CO2. Hemlock is a toxic plant that is seen growing in pastures, road ditches, and many other places where children and even grown adults may accidentally ingest it. When hemlock is ingested, it is very deadly. In livestock, it is often very fatal. In humans, it is often seen causing muscle tremors, paralysis, and even sudden death. Because of this, hemlock and many other plants are often killed using herbicides. Herbicides are products that use chemical concoctions to attack certain parts of the plant that cause death. The most effective and most common herbicides are those that attack the system of photosynthesis. Because of this, attacking the system of photosynthesis, it eventually causes the plants to starve out and die. There are many types of herbicides, from HPPD inhibitors to ACCase inhibitors. They all attack different sections of the plant's livelihood, whether that be the way that they process protein inside of their cell walls, the way their nucleus attaches inside of their cells. Herbicides all attack some type of system that keeps the plant alive. The main type of herbicides we'll be looking at today are photosystem inhibitors. There are two main types of photosystem inhibitors, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. The photosystem inhibitor type 1 attacks the electron acceptors in the plant. Instead of doing their norm, they instead accept the iron sulfur protein from the herbicide, Instead of doing the norm, these electron acceptors accept the iron sulfide protein from the herbicide, and the free form of this iron sulfide protein causes the peroxidization of lipids, which is the destruction of membrane integrity and causes phototoxicity. Phototoxicity is when plants, instead of making proper life-sustaining energy from the sunlight, actually become allergic to the sun. Photosystem inhibitor type 2 binds to the D1 protein in the reaction center, blocking electron transfer, and prevents the conversion of absorbed light into electrochemical energy, which essentially starves off the plant. So, now that we know why herbicides are used and how they work, we then have to discuss herbicide runoff. Is when herbicides are used in agriculture or on personal property, and then rainfall or flooding deposits herbicides in the water table. The water table then makes its way into creeks, rivers, and then eventually the herbicides make it into infected rain and eventually reach the ocean. Herbicide runoff is when the use of herbicides in agriculture or personal property deposits excess herbicide in the ground. Rainfall or flooding then deposits the herbicide in the water table. Infected creeks, rivers, and rain then reach the ocean and then infect the ocean. As herbicides make their way into the ocean from runoff, they deposit millions of tons of herbicides that are used worldwide into the ocean. Various herbicides have been detected at concentrations that have been shown to pose risks to sea life. This is due to the fact that many herbicides stop photosynthesis, which many microorganisms that live in the ocean use to produce energy, one of the main organisms being phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are a subspecies of the plankton family. Unlike the other species in the plankton family, phytoplankton use photosynthesis to produce energy, while the others in the family get their energy by consumption of other microorganisms. Due to this, phytoplankton are a key part of the global carbon cycle, in which they account for around half of the global photosynthetic activity and at least half of oxygen production. Without energy, much like plants, the phytoplankton eventually die off. With fewer phytoplankton, the ocean loses space to hold in CO2 in its sea life, and instead the CO2 gets stored in the Earth's atmosphere. This was actually this has actually happened before in the Earth's timeline, where a mass extinction of phytoplankton and other plankton then caused the collapse of a food chain and then led to mass extinction of the Earth's aquatic sea life. The increased level of CO2 in the atmosphere makes the greenhouse gas effect stronger, which slowly increases the Earth's average temperature. This can cause multiple issues with ecosystems across the planet, affecting even humans. Extra CO2 can cause ocean acidification, oxidative stress in humans. It can increase the hurricane strength. It can cause seasonal shifts, and it can even cause damage to the human body, mainly in the lungs and esophagus. In conclusion, we can see a direct link from chemical concoctions known as herbicides, which some are designed to completely halt photosynthetic activity in plants and even some microorganisms. When used in agriculture and even on personal property, herbicides are often run off with flooding and rain and eventually make their way into the ocean. When in the ocean, they then attack phytoplankton, photosynthesis, to create energy and consume carbon. The consumption of this carbon then helps aid in the production of oxygen. Phytoplankton are key elements in the carbon cycle. Without phytoplankton, or with the excessive death of large amounts of phytoplankton, we will see excessive growth of CO2 in the Earth's atmosphere. This excessive growth will then contribute to the greenhouse gas effect and raise the Earth's average temperature. Along with that, it can affect many humans' lives, the weather, seasons, and even the ocean itself. We should limit excessive use of herbicides in locations where runoff may be a large possibility. We can also create natural ways to get rid of unwanted plants that may be toxic to humans or livestock, without introducing more unnatural chemicals to the wild.